Hi guys, it's Kenyatta back to talk to you about we gonna talk about it. So I'm here today because I want to talk about um, having diabetes. If you didn't see my previous video on being diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic, go back and see that. You need to see that first before you watch this. Okay, it's a two-part video. Um, I am now um, type 1 diabetic. How that happened is because you are able to graduate, I like to say, from a type 2 to a type 1. It's not a good graduation, it's a bad one. So, after being a diabetic too for many years, being diagnosed in 2010, I'd say about 2016, 2015, I had started losing a tremendous amount of weight. When I say tremendous, I mean a lot. I was basically 220 something pounds. I've always been a very voluptuous woman. Um, I started noticing that my body had started changing. Um, I want to be very detailed on the things that I'm saying. So guys, if your body gets squeamish and you can't hear certain things, please click out of this video. I don't want to make anybody sick. I'm just trying to share my experience as being a diabetic, and maybe this can help someone. Um when I say I was losing a tremendous amount of weight, I was basically um like I said, 200 and something pounds. I had noticed my skin had started to sag in certain areas, the buttocks, stomach, um, underneath the arms, and even in my face. It had gotten so small. This went on for a couple months. I continued to complain to my PCP, to my doctor, and basically I was very concerned because if you know me, I love being a big woman. It's fulfilling to me. um I've, like I said, I've always been very big, thick, whatever you want to call it. So when that started to change, it concerned me. I hadn't lost appetite or anything. I was still eating like I normally would. It's just I was losing weight. Like I couldn't retain any weight. I went to my endocrinologist. I was up for my appointment, and he said, Kenyetta, he said, yes, I do see there's a drastic change in your weight. Um, I would say it took me about maybe a month and a half, 2 months before I actually made the appointment to go to my endocrinologist to, basically tell him what was going on with the weight issue. Once I shared that with him, he, looked at the chart. He said, yes, you have lost about a good 20, 25, 30 pounds. And I said, okay, this is concerning. It concerned him as well. He asked me, was I taking my blood sugar regularly? Was I taking my insulin? Was I doing what I was supposed to do? I said, yes, I haven't changed anything. Like, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I always been honest with my team of physicians. I am not perfect. There is no way that I feel like I could ever 100% say that I do everything that I'm supposed to do being a diabetic. I don't. Every once in a while I cheat. I have to. I feel like I need that to live. It's just me. I'm a foodie. I like to eat. And I, when I'm home, I eat. I love the snacks is the worst. That is like cruelty taking the snacks away from me. But that is the part that I really, I can't have. Um, Work is an issue because at my job they're always um having parties, and patients are always bringing pastries and donuts, and all the list goes on. Don't let it be around the holiday. Forget about it. There's always something to eat there. Anyhow, I talking to my endocrinologist. He said, Kenyatta, we maybe need to, test you for diabetes type 1. And I said, well, why would we do that? I've been diagnosed as, a diabetic type 2. He said, Kenyatta, sometimes, we have some cases where your diabetes types can change. And with the extreme weight loss that you're speaking of, you're always tired. I started having great pains in my legs and my feet. It is called neuropathy. It is a terrible pain. Um, it comes and goes. It's not something that stays all day. It's like just a shooting pain down. It can be from my thigh to go down to my feet. Um, I have noticed recently, I say in the last year or two, it has gone in my hands. Um, I am on a medication which they call Cymbalta. It is a pain medication for that handles neuropathy. Um, it works when it wants to. It is not a cure for the neuropathy, but it is helpful. It, it downplays the pain a little bit. So he put me on that because I was complaining about the pain. So he put me on that, and he started to run the necessary tests to see if my diabetes type had changed. We came to find that it did. Um, I left his office with a plan. He had put me on another insulin. So in my other video, I showed you guys the Lantus pen. Lantus is what they call a slow acting insulin. It works slowly through the body. Okay. Then, because he had come to find out, my endocrinologist, that I was a type 1 now, he also put me on another insulin, which this is called Novolog. It is a fast acting insulin. The Lantus I would take at night only. I would take 22 to 25 units every night before bed. And the Novolog I would have to take on a sliding scale. What a sliding scale is when your endocrinologist tells you you're going to have a base unit of 8. That means if let's just say, okay, let's go back. I don't want to go too fast. So I don't want to lose you. The Novolog is the fast acting insulin. I have to literally every meal, whether it be breakfast, lunch, snack, or dinner, every meal, I have to check my glucose, okay, to see how much of this Novolog I'm going to need to take. The actual sliding scale starts at an 8 units. Now, usually, if I am anywhere from, say, 120, 110, I'm only going to use 8 units because that is actually a good place to be on your glucose reading. But because I'm going to eat now, Eating doesn't matter if what it is. Of course, we're staying away from sugar, the carbs. We know all about that. We're eating a nice, wholesome breakfast. We know it's going to make the blood sugar go up. This is what diabetes is. Everything is a balance. So now, with that being said, we're going to eat breakfast. We're at 120 or 125 for the glucose. We checked it. I'm going to give myself 8 units of this Novolog. What that does is, while I'm having my meal intake, it is actually going to work on my blood sugar and basically tell it to go down because the food intake is going to make it go up. When I check my glucose, when I was first diagnosed as a type 2, I used to do it the old fashioned way. Stick yourself with the needle. I would have the, I think it was Accor or something, glucose reader. It was an old fashioned one. Anyway, because now I was type 1, my doctor recommended that I start using the Libra 2. There is a Libra 3. The Libra 3 is the one that you can connect to your phone and all that. I am 47 years old. I ain't got time to be going in that phone all the time. The phone is not my friend. My son had to teach me how to text. I'm old school. I put everything on paper. You guys know what I'm talking about. Anyhow, he recommended that I start using this, which is the Libra 2 glucose reader. With this reader, I actually turn it on. And if you guys can see, it says scan sensor to check. Now, the sensor is a little circle that attaches to your arm. It's a needle. You use it basically for 2 weeks, and then you have to take that old one off and replace it with a new one. So I just want to show you quickly how this works. So I have my meter in my hand. I'm going to press check glucose because that's what I want to do. I'm going to just wave it. I can scan it through my clothes. I don't have to pull my shirt up or anything. Guess what it says? Can you see that, guys? It says I'm high. The reason why I'm high is because today I cheated. Yes, I'm going to tell you I cheated. I had pizza and wings. And when I eat things like that, it makes the blood sugar go up. Now, I did give myself insulin. So, because I knew I was eating bad for my dinner meal, and I knew I was going to be high, and high, what it says on the glucose reader was 250 and up. So it'll give you like a range. So with that being said, I'm starting with, my Novolog. I'm going to take the 8 base units because that's the sliding scale. And for every other, like say 150 to 180, then it's 180 to 250, 250 to 350. For every amount that I go past, I add 2 units. So with that being said, today when I had my dinner intake, the Novolog, I took basically 18 units because it was so high. This disease that I have, or you might have, it is a constant reminder that you are not well. You are not 100%. I try to put it in my head that I am, but your body is not going to let you, because when I get too low, I am discombobbled. Hands are shaking. I start getting blurred vision. When I'm too high, I know I need my insulin and I take that, but it starts to drop, and the Novolog makes it drop very quickly. But that is what it's supposed to do. Um, I believe if I did not have diabetes, I wouldn't have a lot of the health issues that I have. Diabetes has given me um other issues as well. I have wind up in the hospital, being hospitalized, I say 3 times in total now. Once when I was first diagnosed with type 2. The second time I had DKA. And I want to talk a little bit about that. DKA, I wrote it down, guys, so forgive me for looking down. DKA is a diabetic ketosis. I hope I'm saying it right. If I'm not, guys, please forgive me. These are some hard words that they use in the hospital. So, it's basically it's a complication of diabetes in which acids build up in the blood, to levels that can be basically life threatening. It occurs when the body does not have enough insulin or cannot use it effectively. So in 2016, when I found out by my endocrinologist I was now type 1, I'd say about a month later, I wind up in the hospital with this DKA. I was in the hospital for several days. Um, it was hard getting the blood sugar down. Um, I was weak, just veins collapsing because they had to keep changing the IVs. It just was terrible, guys. Um, I know too all about having diabetes. Having diabetes is it's a lifestyle. It is very difficult. It is not easy. People that tell you that it's easy, it is not. It is not a fun disease to have. No disease is a fun disease to have, but it is one that is very complicated. Um, I have had DKA 2 times in total and was hospitalized. I thank and praise God that I have made it on the other side both times. I do not wish it on anybody. I don't wish to go back into DKA anymore. I had enough of it. Every time I go through it, it gives me another um, illness, basically. I am on heart medication now because of my diabetes. I am on what they call Metropol. I am on Avastin, Cymbalta, the 2 insulins. This is a lot for a 47-year-old woman. And I'm still here, still standing because of the grace of God and because I know that He only knows when it's time for me to go home. I hope that you've learned something from this video. I hope that you're able to take better care of yourself. I hope that you go and get your checkups as you should. I just hope that you can get through this disease on the other side and know that you are not going to be 100% in control of your body anymore. You're going to need to exercise. You're going to need to humble yourself to not be stressed out about so many things. I know we get stressed out for the littlest things. If it's not money, we don't have this, we don't have that. Stress is real. I feel you. But you got to try to block some of it out. Okay. Walk by faith, not by sight. God has a plan and He will make sure everything is okay. I thank you guys so much for sitting with me today on my channel. I am Kenyetta Andre. And I would like to say, like, comment, and subscribe. I am a small content creator who is enjoying this new journey that I have chosen. Um, it is a new hobby of mine. I love talking to you guys, and I will hope that you guys love talking to me. God bless you. May you have a wonderful evening.